Hey guys, just wanted to talk about the mind a little bit today because it's killing us a lot of the time, and we just think that that's the only thing that makes us smart or whatever, right? That's what runs our world, the mind. And it's just like a giant machine feeding you thoughts from like recycled information that you've gathered through your senses. And a lot of the times it's like you have no control over it, right? Like you probably notice that you don't think most of your thoughts, they're just kind of like coming one after another. If you notice and you actually look, you'll see like just one after another. And a lot of people get stuck in each of the stories, or they try to resist it. Like if they think it's like a bad thought, then they're like scared to think it and they're like fight against it, and that just makes it stronger, right? Because you're just kind of like resisting what is. And yeah, I mean, it's not like you're gonna do the thing that you're thinking anyways. You probably picked it up from like a movie or a show that you watched, or someone told you something, and it just gets recycled, and you just, it comes into your experience, right? Through your thought. But if you actually go towards the thought and allow it to be, then it has no power over you. Especially if you can stay out of the story of the thought. Because a thought has a story, plus an image sometimes, plus it's a sensation, which is the like fundamental nature of a thought. It's like a sensation that goes on inside you. So each thought, if you don't get sucked into the story or the picture, then you can feel it as a sensation. And if you can do that with each thought, and you're like, you can notice each one of them as they come. But that takes a lot of awareness. You have to really work on this to be able to do that. You can't just do that because each thought pretty much sucks you into the story, and you kind of play inside the story of that thought. And this might take like 1 minute, or you might get sucked in and you're like half an hour later you wake up and you're like, oh shit, I was just in this thought of how I'm gonna be successful and so on and so on, right? So it's like our imagination works overtime and we get sucked into those things, which is a good thing too. I mean, you get to like play around and experiment with what you might want in your life. But the problem is that these stories are they're not reality, right? They're just things that help us to kind of like see what we might want for the future, but you have to like then implement it and work on it, and not just think of the story all day in your head and then be like, oh yay, it's gonna come true. Like you have to work towards it too, right? It could be a little push for you to definitely take some time, sit there and think, and be in that like imaginative world of how it feels. So then you have a good sense for it, and then it'll push you to take action, right? But a lot of the times we don't do that. We just get stuck in those stories, and even ones that we don't want, right? So like that's the thing. You have to start noticing that thoughts are just stories that are recycled and that come one after another. And the more you get sucked into it, the further away from reality you get. Okay, so you have to notice that if you're sucked into it and you're actually wanting to be sucked in and enjoying it and maybe wanting to pursue something, then okay, like be there. But then again, like after you come out of it, notice, oh shit, that was a story and I was stuck in there for a little bit. And then again, and this goes on your whole day. And it's very easy to get sucked into those because you don't notice and you don't have enough awareness yet to be able to notice. That's why you have to work on this and actually sit down and observe how these thoughts are coming into your experience each time, because it's pretty difficult at first when you've never tried it before, and you always fight them, and you don't want this one, or you like this one, so you get stuck in that one even more, and so on. But try to see this today in your own experience, and then you'll see that the mind is great, and yes, it's good to give it knowledge, but if it's taking you over like it has most people, then they're kind of like deluded, and they're playing stories and stuck in them of these stories. It's like webs, right? And you can't get out of it. It's like a maze. So you have to start being able to get back to reality after you get sucked into that story, and be like, okay, this happened again, and the next time it happens, and again, you're going to get sucked in. So keep being able to, at least after the fact, like when you get sucked in and you've been in the story for a while, be like, oh shit, okay, there it was again, and it's okay. And then the next time you got to try to be more present, okay? So try and notice that today. Let me know how it goes. Leave me some comments, subscribe. Peace.